Welcome to Friends of Swish. I'm Sean Schultz, and I'm joined by Kara. Is your last name Scruggs still, or
It's Arnold.
Kara Arnold? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Everyone does it, but that's it. It's Hallie.
I should, you know what? I should be more sensitive to that because my name's Sean, and everyone mispronounces it with the spelling.
Oh, really? So
Hallie, then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful little girl, smile. You could tell she had a personality from the photos.
She definitely did.
Let's get the bad stuff out of the way first. How did you first find out what occurred?
We actually have a really big family, and most of them are in Nashville. So what happened was one of my cousins was driving down Old Hickory Boulevard shortly after the shooting, and some of the kids were fleeing and crossing. It's a very busy road, but and she stopped and helped them get across. And then she talked to her sister, and her sister actually texted me and to ask what was going on, because my brother is the pastor there, and my niece and nephew go to school there. She just said she'd heard there was a shooting, and if I knew anything, and I didn't know anything. This was about an hour, I think, after it had occurred. So that was the first I'd heard about it. It was not on the news yet. I called my mom, who is in a suburb of Nashville, and we're all very close, and she did not know yet. It was all just mass chaos at that time. So we knew pretty quickly. Then we touched base with my brother, and we knew pretty quickly that my nephew was safe, but that Hallie was missing.
I'm sorry. Take your time. And if you need a break, let me know.
So time's kind of weird when I think about it. I don't know how long, but it felt like a really long time. All we knew was that Hallie was missing. And we just waited. It was just chaotic, and it took, I would say, at least a couple hours to even find out that she was at Vanderbilt Hospital. And then Vanderbilt Hospital wasn't telling us anything for a while. So, but we knew at that point, there were headlines coming out pretty quickly, like 3 students had passed, but that there were no other, or that there were 6 victims, but then there were no other injuries. So knowing that she was at Vanderbilt, I mean, we just started to figure it out on our own before we found out. So
a lot of chaos in there. I can imagine, police department not knowing what to get out.
Kids in so many different places. Some had fled across the street. Some were in the woods. Some were at a fire station. Some they had taken to spill over at another church. And so it was just the checking of all these places, just trying to find her.
How are they doing, him and his family?
Just taking it a day at a time. I think it's just up and down. You're just trying to put one foot in front of the other. They have 3 beautiful boys too, and they're amazing parents. And, I think they're doing the best they can, but it's hard. You just don't recover from something like this, I don't think.
Such horrible details, the worst of humanity, all of that. But I think it's important to remember who Hallie was and the other victims were. So what was she like?
She was full of life, full of personality. Between my brother and I, we have 8 kids and 7 are boys, and she was the only girl. But she was on the top of that dog pile all the time. She was, full of energy, always into things, climbing trees, getting dirty in the creek. My brother says it really well. And he's like, she was definitely not your picture perfect Hallmark little girl in bows and dresses. She just wasn't interested. She was very athletic, very smart. She just really held her own with all those boys all the time. But you always knew she was there. Like, her presence was known, and she was just full of life and full of personality and always smiling. I can't ever remember Hallie getting hurt and being upset by it. She just kept rolling with the punches. You just could not knock her down. You just couldn't.
She had more energy than the boys too?
I would say she was definitely up there with the rest of them. She never tired out. She was ready for anything at all times.
looking at her picture, she has a sweet, innocent smile, but then it looks like there's a little mischievous grin in there a little bit.
Oh, there definitely was. So there's always a joke that I feel like I would know Hallie better if it weren't for my son, Chip, because they were 3 days apart and they were just glued to each other. So anytime we were all together, we would always be like, where are Hallie and Chip? Like, we have no idea where they are. We haven't heard from them in forever. And then we would find them, things would be broken, closets would be cleared out, like stuff everywhere. They were just, there was a lot of mischief. They were just two peas in a pod getting into whatever they could get into. So
She loves sports. You said she have a favorite sport?
I would say football was her favorite. She played soccer and basketball and was very good at both. But she loved to play football.
Like regular football, right? Not like
Yeah, well, just like not soccer or rugby or whatever they call it everywhere else. But yeah, just regular football. Like, she just loved, passing the quarterback. She'd throw the ball around. She loved it. She knew how to do plays and run, whatever, all those things. She was very into football.
How's your kids doing? You said they were real close.
They were. Our kids are all really close. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to know, because we had moved to Colorado. We were already here about a year and a half. I mean, sometimes it feels like we miss Hallie, but we miss her all the time anyway, because we live here and they're in Tennessee. They're in therapy now, though. So I think that's, for the longest time, Chip wouldn't talk about it at all. He just did it. He said it made him too sad and he didn't want to talk about Hallie. And now he's starting to talk about her more. We threw a birthday party for her on Saturday because he really wanted to throw a birthday party for her. And so I feel like therapy is really helping him process it and know that it's okay to be sad, but it's okay to also be happy and remember how much we loved her and how great it was to be with her, stuff like that.
Talking about her help him, do you think, and help you like today? Or
I love to talk about her, especially being away from my family. They're still so Nashville is still so focused on this event and there's still so much going on there. It's hard being here because you just don't want people to forget. I mean, I don't want people to be in pain, but I just it's such a big part of our life and it's not going to go away anytime soon that I like when people ask about her and I like talking about her because it's a big part of my life. And, we don't want the world to just keep going. You know what I mean? That weird.
you do? No, it's not. You do and you don't. I mean, she had 9 years
Right.
of life and it shouldn't be silenced and defined by an hour, a day, whatever you want to phrase it as, of madness.
Yeah, that's true.
To what your son has been going through with the party, just on a personal note, after my dad died, I went to throw a birthday party for him. And I did have to deal with people criticizing it a little bit, some different opinions. It was too painful, but everyone wound up having a good time. And it was very helpful for everybody after. So It's not only okay, it's a great thing to do.
Yeah. And I think she would want that, she would want us to be happy. She would be the center of that if she were there. Her and Chip would have been, getting into something or messing something up or throwing food at each other. I don't even know, but she would have been having the best time. And I think that she would want that for the rest of us.
You're a mom and a wife and a sister, but how are you doing? Just you?
It comes and goes. You try to stay busy because that feels like you're getting through the day, I guess, but it just hits you. It catches up to you.
Sorry. Okay.
It feels like you can't outrun it and you're trying to, but I'm just trying to take the time to cry when I need to cry and talk about her when I need to talk about her and, do the other things in life that give me joy as well. So we're making a memorial garden for her out here. And that feels purposeful right now. It gives me something to focus on. But yeah, out here in Colorado, we started a memorial garden for her. We own a motel. And so we're going to have a path and a bench and, like a mural of her and some information so people can just learn about her. It just feels good to share her with everyone who comes in and out of this place. So that feels like the best thing that we can do, giving more of her to the world, I guess.
Out of this whole situation, what do you hope people learn from it, or what do you hope comes of it?
I trust that good things come from bad things. I know that after this has happened, we've been so supported and so showered with love and support, and to watch people just rally around my family back home. It's, I guess, the silver lining. Like, you just see that there's so much good in this world, so much more good in this world than there is bad.
Oh, yeah.
The bad doesn't take that away. Like, we're just not going to let it. And so we're like, the good is so much bigger. That's the legacy. And, really just taking all that in and believing it and using that to just kind of float us through it. I don't know. I know there will be ripples of goodness that will continue to touch other people, help other people. We'll never see some of them, but I trust that it's happening.
Well, you got a favorite memory of Hallie?
Most recently, this past Christmas when we went home, we all did an escape room together. And because it had always kind of been Hallie and Chip together, but this time we kind of teamed up because we were the only girls. So Hallie and I were trying to get more clues than the boys were trying to get. And that was fun. It was a really nice, like, we were just doing something together. And I had not really gotten to do that with Hallie in the past. Just being younger, I kind of felt like, she was growing up and getting older, and we were, had that chance to do that together. So that was a lot of fun. We did beat the escape room. Hallie was a very important part of that.
I was going to ask if you guys win and get out of it.
3 minutes left. We had 3 minutes left.
I'll admit I can never get out of them. I try. I like to think I'm smart, and then little things like that push me down. So she sounds like she's may not have gotten her full life, but like she's left such a legacy that the world can draw lessons from if folks keep remembering her and what she was like.
Yeah, I definitely think so. She touched a lot of people's lives. She really definitely did.
Do you guys have a memorial page for the garden you're setting up, or any type of tribute page?
Not yet. Maybe as it comes. I don't know, as the garden, I guess, comes together and stuff. Right now, it's just nice to be out in the sunshine and doing something, for her. And I'm hoping it'll all kind of come together in a vision, but it's just a lot of dirt and some plants right now.
Well, if you ever do, let me know, and we'll help you guys fundraise whatever you need to do for it.
Okay, thank you.
Personal lesson from the Nashville situation. It's easy in Chicago. We got a lot of stuff that goes on up here. So just kind of being down in my feelings and just remembering watching the story on the news, and something about just seeing all the kids smile and just the stories of the teachers there. I decided to go out and just start enjoying life a little bit. So I bought a kayak and I go out in nature, and I just, what you're saying with the sun and plans, that's inspired me to do that. And that's helped me a lot.
That's awesome. That would be the legacy that Hallie would want to leave behind, because she was always outside and always dirty. And so she would want people doing that too. She really would.
And so she can have a little laugh if she's listening. Yes, the first time I took the kayak out, I did not expect to see the flying fish jump up next to me, and I did fly out of the boat. So
that's awesome.
And I thought I was an outdoors guy. I'd learned a few lessons since then, but it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Want to thank you real quick for sharing your memories and stuff about. Hopefully we could stay in touch and just continue to promote happiness and people being there for each other.
I would love that.